Hi everyone, welcome to Life at RF. I am Gungun and I am joined with somebody who needs no introduction, absolutely. Our global CEO, Kathy Bloomgarden. Yeah, so hi Kathy, welcome. I hope you're having a wonderful day in Mumbai. How does it feel?
Well, first of all, I'm so excited to be here and meet all of you here in the office. Sorry to disturb everybody's work. But it's wonderful to be here and really have a chance to sit in the office and be part of the India team for a little bit. And it's such an incredible energy and enthusiasm, and it's very impressive. So I'm very, very glad to be here, except for the traffic.
Oh,
Yes.
I feel you. Let's start with something fun, right? When you think back of your early days, would you say that you were a rule follower or a breaker? Sorry.
I was a rule breaker. I think everybody has to, especially in today's world, and if we talk about Gen Z later, we do need to think differently and think out of the box and try to innovate and be imaginative and be curious.
Right.
Being curious is very important for us at Ritterfin and for also the new generation. And we need to really think differently from what we have always done in a world where the tech tools are changing so much.
Oh, that's good to hear. You have built a global agency that thrives on innovation and empathy. So what's that one leadership principle that hasn't changed? Even when the times have changed, the tech has changed, and the generation have changed. What is that one principle that has not changed yet?
Okay, well, the one thing I think has always been important to me and very important at Ritterfin is that I always believe that the youngest person in the room should speak very loudly, because that's where the new ideas come from. And everybody who's, been in the company for a while or been working on a particular project, they have a very structured job description. They know what they're doing. They're very focused in their, expertise. And you only find this way of, stopping for a moment and thinking a little bit differently if you make sure everybody has a voice. And young people sometimes are very shy and they don't want to speak up. So you have to really ask and call people out to speak their mind. And for a long time, I've always felt, and especially more even today, that I want a reverse mentor so that I'm really up to date on all the social channels and how I can be doing things differently.
Right.
And it's really from those who are just graduating from college that we actually find some of our best ideas.
So you would say that they bring on a fresher perspective in the monotonous world that we have it.
They make a huge contribution.
Love that. I totally get that. So if you could describe Ritterfin's culture in 3 words, what would those words be and why?
So I would say fearless. Don't be afraid to do something different or something you haven't done before. I'll talk about that a little bit later. To be very passionate about what you do, because you have to do a really great job. You have to really love it. It's terrible when you come in and you're working on an assignment, you don't really like the assignment, and you can never really, put your heart into it. So to always find the things that you can work on that really are to you important and meaningful. So being passionate about something is really great. And being enthusiastic and energetic is the third thing that I would say, because to beat the competition, I'm fiercely ambitious. So you have to really be very enthusiastic and energetic.
I think that's a deadly combination. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So you have often spoken about the new generation, and I can feel that you love talking about them. And so what is that one thing that sets my generation apart and, the agency leaders have to learn from us?
So I think that you do bring a fearless sentiment, So, when you want to try new tools. So, for example, we were just experimenting with a new tool, Sora, which just came out from OpenAI, which is a video creating tool. But the people, again, who are of an older generation are a little bit worried about trying it or just hesitant, Whereas like if you are wanting to use some of these new tools, the best thing you can do. And I always say this to our clients and to people in our organization, I know, will ask your children, or you will ask somebody who's younger than you to help you figure it out, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So that's what we have to really, recognize that kind of fearless, piloting, being curious to try new things is actually what I think is most important.
Okay, perfect. So you probably must have made your big presentation on Microsoft Point, the 1.0 or maybe the whiteboard. Yes. But we have taken such technological leap throughout over the years. What do you think was the biggest leap that made you go, oh my God, wow, that's amazing?
Well, two things. I started in the research part of our organization, and so I was doing coding, and of course, nobody does coding anymore. And having gone through and trying to formulate a database in a way that makes it accessible is actually kind of archaic. Nobody would ever take that as an assignment for today. The second thing is that old-fashioned way of using notebooks. When you would go to client meetings or during the course of the day, having programs you were working through, you would take all these notes, and then you had this big notebook that was your notebook. So nobody has that anymore either. So I think this is that some of these things that were everybody used them just actually don't exist anymore.
Fair enough. I think now people just note on their phones and get going. That makes sense. So if we walked into your office right now, what is that one thing on your desk that would describe you the best?
Okay, so I do something that's a little bit strange. I actually have my computer, my iPad, and my phone all working at the same time, because sometimes when I'm talking to people, I can't remember what the PowerPoint deck was that we were talking about, or I can't remember what the research that I had asked, ChatGPT to generate for me, what exactly it said. So I'm talking on the Zoom call, and then I'm looking on the iPad to see what it was that I was supposed to have.
So you're just dangling between.
Doing it in between because I haven't actually absorbed it enough to not have those three devices helping me out.
Oh, I take that. If you were an intern at Rudafin like me today, what kind of project you would want to do the most?
Well, if you're one of my favorite client, don't tell anybody I have a favorite client, because we all love our children the same, right? Yeah. But my favorite client is AMD, which is actually, as you may know, the competitor to NVIDIA. So it's wonderful to work for a chip company that is fighting the big NVIDIA. And they're just, you're in the middle of every important challenge, every industry battle, whatever it is in the news. There's always something every day that is affecting NVIDIA and AMD.
Right.
So it is actually working on something that really can make a huge difference to so many people.
I'm so glad that you're taking the, making a difference part. I would choose something thrilling because I'm just young and I just want to do something thrilling. Anyway, finally, one last message that you would give to every intern or new profession out there and remind them about the power of communication. What would that be?
So I think my lesson is something that actually my father always said, which is just because you haven't done it doesn't mean you can't. And that's really important, because often we'll get an RFP or someone will come to us and we're like, oh my God, we cannot go for that because we're not good enough, we're not big enough, we don't have the skills that somebody else might be coming in to compete against us. And it's really important not to take that attitude and to just say, okay, what's about this that we can bring to the table that's really expert, that's different, that's really going to show how we can be extremely strong and supportive. But so often we have to remind ourselves, just because you haven't done it doesn't mean you can't.
I'll note this down today. I think I need that reminder every day. So now, just to change things a bit quick, I'm going to do a rapid fire round with you. And it's just 3 easy questions. Okay. Are you a coffee or a tea person?
Definitely coffee.
Okay. Are you like an email or brainstorm? Brainstorm. Okay. One word your team would use to describe you.
I have to say 2, enthusiastic and determined.
Wow. A book or podcast that you think every young communicator should refer to, look up to.
So it's actually CNBC's John Fort. It's called On the Other Hand. And what he does is he takes one issue every time and he tells the story one way, and then he tells the story immediately afterwards the other way. And what is so amazingly interesting about that is if you watch our news today, so all news is biased. It's biased to one side or the other. So it's important for you to learn how to look at both sides and understand what is actually underneath each of them.
You really are a woman of perspective, and I love that. Thank you for giving me your time. And I think we all are going to take all these kind words and incorporate into our lives at RF.
Well, thank you. Thank all of you, because we have a wonderful India team, and I really appreciate everything you do, and you're an extremely important part of our organization.